Hello everybody, welcome to Tastemaker. This is what I guess you would call a restaurant tycoon game. It's made by one person by the name of Jelle Booij, and I think I'm probably horribly butchering that pronunciation, but never mind. First things first, the options menu. Everything you really need for a game like this. It's not graphically intensive, so you don't need too many options here. Controls, always nice to have edge panning. The ability to turn edge panning on and off. I run two monitors, so if I tend to click onto the other one, sometimes games can go haywire if they have edge panning. This eliminates that. I'd like to see different volume settings for different aspects of the game. Ambient sound, music, all separate. That would be nicer than just having a straight volume slider, because some of the noises in this game, for example the cars, can be a bit too loud, but I would still like to be able to hear the music. This game has 3 modes, one of which is the tutorial. It's a pretty short tutorial, but it really teaches you everything you need to know. It has a scenarios mode. You get objectives and you have to complete them. You get a easy, medium and hard objective. Each one gives you a star. I'm not going to show this, but because the gameplay is very similar to just the main sandbox mode, but if you are wanting a kind of different challenge, then this might be something to look at. Sandbox mode, kind of main mode, you build your own restaurant up from the ground. I'm going to jump into one of my sandbox saves here. Okay, so we're into one of my sandbox saves here. This is a restaurant. I would say this is about probably 2 or 3 hours worth of gameplay to get to this point. So, quite simple. We have a kitchen here. This is where all the food gets cooked, where we keep all of our food stores. We have 2 bathrooms here. We don't want to spy on that man doing his business. And then we have our main dining room. We have different tables. We have the bar here for those unlucky people who have to dine alone. Okay, so let's look at each of these kind of tabs at the bottom here. We're going to keep it on the slow mode here just now while I talk through everything, and we might move it up later when we actually have to build stuff. Quite simple. Wall, obvious, and path, obvious. I don't really need any paths because my restaurant goes right out onto the street. Buy land, so you can buy all of the land eventually in this area that you get, and that will enable you to expand your restaurant out, have more seats, more people, more money. Doors and windows, again very self-explanatory, very obvious. Floors, different floors, so if you want to customize your floors, I have different ones in the bathrooms and in the kitchen, and I have a carpet in the main dining room. I like this carpet. I think it looks quite nice. You also get different wallpapers that you can have. I've got this blue one. I probably prefer the red one, but it is a bit more expensive, and when I was doing the wallpapering I was a bit short on cash, so I chose the blue one. You then get these kind of outside plants as well. Go in here. This is rather the dining room furniture. So we've got different tables, different chairs, and the bar counter and the bar stool. I cannot afford the fancy table yet, but I would like to just show you here. I think the fancy table is the only one that lets you do this, but you can actually change the colour of that, which is quite nice to suit your dining room. As we'll just sell that because I really can't afford to have too many of them. Similarly, the kitchen appliances, I guess you'd call them, in here. You'd need different ones of these to cook different sorts of dishes, and we'll go more onto the dishes in a little bit. Down here, just a nice delete button. Okay, so actually, before we go into tableware, we'll look at the menu. So this is my menu just now. I've got these 5 dishes well, not unlocked, but these 5 dishes available to me based on what I have in my kitchen. So for the nuggets, for example, we need a fryer and a chopping board. Then we need chicken as the ingredient, and the dishes would be the plates here. Soup is different. Soup requires a bowl and a pan and a stove and a cutting board and tomatoes. So each kind of dish requires different kitchen appliances and different ingredients. If we look here, ingredients, you can order these ingredients. So see, I'm low here at the top on steaks and chicken. So we'll order 10 chicken and 10 steak because each of the fridges I have can hold 10 items. Stuff like chicken and steak get stored in the fridges, and stuff like potatoes and tomatoes and wine get stored in these kind of racks here, as you can see. The dishes you can order here, they get stored in these cabinets. Okay. So what I'm going to show today to kind of show off the game, I'm going to add an item to my menu. I want to add the pizza, which will require us to build a dough mixer, this oven, and we will also need to make room for some flour in our stores. And I'm also going to make a little extension into this area for my dining room. So I guess the first easy thing to do would be to extend. Oh, actually first we have to buy this land. So land can be bought for five of these coins. I'm not sure what the currency is, but we'll call them coins. Then quite simply move that like that, and that will create this extension onto the dining room. You can see this, when you build something, it has this kind of default wallpaper and default floor. We're obviously going to extend this carpet and this already existing wallpaper through there, make this look a bit nicer. So we'll just take down this wall here, and what we'll do is we will extend this bar counter maybe one, and then put it around like that. I think that looks quite nice. We don't want to take up too much room with the bar counter. We'll add some more bar stools there, like so. And we will do our wallpaper and our flooring as we just go right round. Now, a little nitpick that I have here is that you can't drag across an area to do the flooring. You actually have to click each tile individually. It would be a nice little quality of life addition to just be able to drag over. See, we've got a new review there. We'll talk about that in just a little minute after we've got this area set up. So what I'll do, I'll just move, in fact no I won't, I'll move the jukebox here, and then I'm going to put a little table in the corner there. So like this. There we go. And then this extension probably wasn't big enough to really do much with, but it's given us a few extra seats there and an extra seat there in the corner. Probably buy another little plant to put there, so if we go to decorations we can get a cactus and put that there. Okay, so that's basically how the building works. It's very simple, but it's nice. It's not too complicated, and all of the kind of assets in the game look nice, with the exception of this table and this chair. Yeah, but they're the kind of cheap ones, and you move past them pretty quickly. So I actually can't get rid of that now because it's in use, but we'll just wait for that person to leave, and then we'll get right on getting rid of that horrible eyesore. Right, second thing I was going to do. Let's make some pizza. So in order to make the pizza, we're going to need a storage rack to store the flour. I'm going to just try and squeeze that in there. We'll need a dough mixer. Put that right there. And we're going to need the oven as well. We'll put that there. And I'm kind of running a bit low on cash now. So I'm going to speed the game up. Hopefully get some more cash. And while we do that, I'm just going to order a bit more of anything. You run out, well, depending on what speed you're on, you run out fairly quickly of each kind of ingredient. We're just going to order enough so that we have 17 of each, because each of these storage racks holds 17 items, the fridges hold 10, so I'm only just going to make this delivery. Nice little feature here, you can put the deliveries to repeat. I don't tend to do it because I end up forgetting that it's on repeat, and then sometimes I lose all my money from just getting way more food than I need. Okay, so we've got the... Oh, I forgot to order the flour actually, so let's do that right now. Just order 17, hopefully. Hopefully that will be enough for just now. Okay, so while we wait for our flour, see here we're actually running out of plates, but I think that's okay. We'll talk about a few things that I kind of like about the game. Obviously the art assets I think are very nice. It's not obviously a graphically impressive game, but everything looks nice enough. I'm just waiting for this plate to go away so I can get rid of this table, but that's okay. Everything looks very nice and everything's very clean. It's important with a game like this that things don't get very messy. A couple of things I don't like. I think there needs to be a kind of cutaway wall mode, like you'd see in a game like The Sims. For example, in order to see into these bathrooms, I have to do that and look from directly above, which is a bit annoying, but it's not a huge issue. I just think that would be something that could definitely be added to just make everything a little bit easier. I'm just going to add a few windows in here because, well, they're free. The windows quite nicely are actually free, so it means you're not spending too much money on stuff like that. Okay, so we've got our flour in stock, so let's add the pizza to our menu. We'll put that up just 1 to 26. Okay, nice time to talk about the reviews. I've got a new review in. The reviews basically give you tips on where you're going right and where you're going wrong. So this one says it could use some extra toilets. This one doesn't actually have any criticism, but it just says I received my food quickly. This one says it would be nice if my food arrived earlier. So, you know, it gives you little kind of just tips, which is always nice, and it's, you know, you get a star rating, and it's a nice little bit of the game that gives it a bit of personality. So you can see we've kind of got a queue forming here. That can be for a couple. Well, there's a couple of reasons that you can eliminate this queue, and one of them is to put the prices up, which you can do through the menu tab. So I've already put the price of the pizza up from what it was, so I'm just going to raise the price of everything just a little bit and see if it alleviates that queue. Obviously if you put your prices too high, you're not going to have anybody coming into the restaurant. Oh, we've got another new review. This is another 4-star. It's nice and clean. It's important to keep your restaurant clean, and that's done through this item here, which is the broom, and you can see this worker here is using the broom. We'll move on to the workers, since I was just mentioning that. You hire employees. They're all $50 a month. You can change their names, which is nice. I've just got them on default names. So you hire them through this menu, and then you can kind of set their priorities here. So I've got one each for serving, cooking, dishwashing and cleaning. I found that to be the most efficient way of doing it, rather than having them having to do multiple tasks at the same time. I find having them each doing a separate task is kind of the most efficient way for me. I've run out of storage again here. Not storage, I've had an ingredient shortage, if I can get that out. So we're just going to order some more tomatoes, because I think I'm actually using tomatoes for both the pizza and the soup now. So I'm going to need to keep an eye on the tomatoes and maybe build an extra storage rack if I see that they're going down a lot. Now let's see if we can spy one of our pizzas going out. I'm not sure we've got an order for one of them yet, but I'll keep my eyes peeled for that. I was saying about the staff before that shortage came up there. The staff, I mean, it's a fairly simple system. You just hire them, plonk them down, and I mean, you plonk them down like that, which is, I mean, it's a system that works. I would maybe like to see a system where maybe you could vary the wages a bit, and if you put the wages down, maybe they don't work as efficiently. If you put the wages up, maybe they're going to be happier, so they put a bit more effort into their work. I think that would be nice, but it's not a glaring issue. Another thing I would like to see is different costumes for staff members. For example, I've got this guy only working in the kitchen, so I think it would be nice to see him maybe in that situation wearing a chef's jacket instead of the kind of waiter outfit here. Similarly with the cleaner, I don't know that the cleaner would be wearing a waiter's outfit, but again, not too big a deal. You notice I have the slot machine here. This is a nice way to just kind of make a passive income. If I go up here to the income tab, it shows you all your expenses and all your income. So I'm making just a nice 30 a month from this gambling machine, which is not much, but it's enough to kind of cover a kind of mid-month delivery if you dramatically need something. Okay, we'll move on to the kind of decor tab down here. You turn this on, it shows you the decor or the decor rating of your restaurant. Obviously, kitchen appliances are going to be very ugly, so they're going to be red, and stuff like plants, the nicer tables, they're going to be green and make your restaurant nicer, and you'll get better reviews in turn for that. You'll get more customers. I think actually that I have put the prices up a little bit high, so I might knock down just a couple of them. I'll keep the pizza up, knock down the wine, knock down the fries. We'll see. Still not spied one of those pizzas coming out, but I'm sure we will soon. Oh, another new review. It's nice and clean, that's very good. Speaking of cleanliness, we'll go into the hygiene tab. Obviously, the bathrooms are going to be the most unhygienic places. Everything else actually looks okay just now, which is a bit surprising because dirt can build up quite quickly in this game as people trudge in from the outside. I see a bit there when people are starting to come in again. We get a bit of dirt kind of going onto the floor, and this man is quite diligently mopping it up. I'd maybe like to see an item like a floor mat where you could put that down and people walking over it maybe don't spread as much dirt around. I think that would be a little nice addition. We'll have to order a bit more food here. I think we're out of everything actually, which is a bit of a problem because we're going to get unhappy people. If the customers have to wait too long before they get any food, they will just leave. What else do we need? We've got flour, we need tomatoes. There we go. So I've actually expanded, so I've got every ingredient in the game now. This is I actually forgot to mention at the beginning, but I'll put text on the screen saying this is a early access game. So everything in this game is obviously subject to change, and I imagine there's going to be a lot more content at launch than this. In fact, the developer has quite a ambitious roadmap, having a lot of features in there. I can't remember them all. One of them was having stand-up comics that you could put in. Obviously a lot of new dishes and stuff. I think there's even mention of a zombie mode. I'm not quite sure how that would work, but I am interested to see that, so hopefully that roadmap gets more or less stuck to. But obviously the game will evolve as early access coming out. In fact, I think here's our first pizza that I've seen. Looks quite nice. You can see actually as the customers eat, the portion sizes on the plates actually get smaller, which is just again a nice little touch that I think adds to the experience. I'm actually raking in a lot of money here. I'm quite happy with this. Okay, I was going to say I think actually there's an update coming quite soon, I think, that's going to add kind of outdoor area, so you'll be able to have patios, you'll be able to have balconies. The game does support having more than one floor through the stairs. I guess I'll actually just add some there's no space on the top floor. I'm not going to show the the multiple floors, because I was reading, and I think it's quite buggy. I think the kind of AI can be a bit buggy with bringing dishes up to the top floor. So I'm not really keen on showing that. It's something to bear in mind though, and I'm sure that bugginess will be fixed. I plan to come back to this game when it's a bit further in its development, maybe even fully released, and I'm sure I'll be able to show you that then. Oh, and we are running very quickly out of tomatoes actually. There we go, and we got another review. I did get a 5-star review at one point, but I seem to be faltering a bit now. But that's okay. Oh, we're just gonna have to do a full order actually, I think, because we're quite low on just about everything. Oh, there. What am I missing? What have I not put in? Wine, of course, the most important part of any restaurant. New review here. Oh, it's a 2-star. This is because I'm running out of ingredients, so people aren't getting served. This person is not getting served. Another little nitpick here. If I were to put a chair here in this spot, you can see I've only got 3 there. I can't put a chair there because it will disable the AI from actually sitting in these 2 seats. And I actually had a man stuck in this seat for I think probably about a month because he couldn't get out because I placed a seat there after he'd gotten that one. I think the AI should probably be able to squeeze between these gaps. Again, it's not a game-breaking issue, but it's just a little thing to consider. Okay, so we didn't really look at the decorations very much. And what I'll do actually, I'll just buy a few paintings. If you look at my decor rating here, this is before I put the painting up. We put the painting up here. In fact, where will we put the painting up? Put the painting up there, and you can see that's boosted my decor in this area quite nicely. If we look at, here's a spot that we've actually got quite poor decor on, so we'll just put painting up there, and oh, it doesn't seem to have changed. That's rather embarrassing. I think that might be because the bathrooms are negatively affecting this area, and that's why the decor is not really helping, but I'm not sure. I can't really show you anywhere else because anywhere else is pretty much full. We could try and put I try and put a plant there and see. Yeah, see, and this has gone a lot more green than it was before, so it does work. Okay, let's talk about rats. You can see I've got a mouse trap there and I've got a mouse trap here. It's because rats do periodically appear in the restaurant, and the best way to get rid of them is to have these traps that obviously kill them. I have seen them a couple of times go out the front door, but I think it's a lot better to have the traps than just waiting and hoping that they leave your restaurant. Another new review. Ah, still a 4-star. Wanting a new 5-star. One thing to note: the toilets get bogged at a kind of ungodly level. I'm not sure what kind of food we're serving in this restaurant, but it seems to do some damage. And they can kind of be blocked for some time, and I wish there was a way to kind of prioritize the guy assigned to cleaning. I wish there was a way to prioritize unclogging the toilets. And I keep flicking away from the toilets when they're kind of full, so to speak, because I'm not quite sure what YouTube's policy is on stuff like that, even if it is incredibly cartoony. This kind of rogue piece of land here that I've bought annoying me a bit. In fact, we will rectify that, and in doing so I'll be able to show you kind of the outside decorations. So we'll do that, and we'll make a nice little kind of flower flower bed here. We just have some nice plants, and then you can see how nice. And then we'll just put a tree there. I don't know, does that help the decor? Okay, no, it doesn't help the decor, but it looks nice. And sorry, I keep getting distracted. I keep running out of food and I keep getting very distracted by it. I am going to turn the speed down a bit actually, because it might be a bit too high for me commentating and playing at the same time. My brain cannot cope with such madness. Okay, so our restaurant's kind of plodding along. I should note that the area you start with is not as big as my restaurant is just now. The area you start with is probably about, I think it's here to this wall, and then so it's kind of in an area of this rectangle that I'm trying to outline here. Which is not big, but I think a game like this, you need that ability to expand. And the kind of expansion and the reward you get from kind of expanding and putting your time into making sure everything looks nice is very, very good. Again, we're out of tomatoes. I think we're going to need to buy a new rack for tomatoes. The issue is I'm not 100% sure if we've got actually room to place it anywhere. I'm going to try and maybe be a bit cheeky and put it... I don't know if I can put it there. We'll put it there, and hopefully that works. But maybe not. So each of these, you can kind of select what goes on it. So I have this one obviously set to potatoes. The fridges are the same. You can choose between chicken and beef. I have this one for steak, and then this one for chicken. One little annoyance with this is that obviously with the storage racks you can see how much you've got on it. You can't really see how much steak and chicken you have. I mean, obviously you can look up here, but I don't know if it would be nice to just have a little visual indicator down here so you kind of notice when you're flitting by while you're building stuff. I think it would make it a bit easier than having to remember to look up here. That could just be me though. Come on, be a 5-star. Yes, there we go. 5-star review. This restaurant is amazing. I received my food very quickly. Well, I was about to just show something. There's a fair amount of furniture and decorations and stuff in the game. But I think a game like this should really have modding support, whether that be through the Steam Workshop or elsewhere. I think the ability to mod this game would I think it really increases longevity as much as anything. But it would just let you download little things that make the restaurant look the way that you completely want it to look, instead of having this kind of, the game items have a very kind of specific style. And you can't really do anything too wacky with these. I think it would be nice to have modding support just so you can go... You can get like a few wacky items that won't... and you can get them without the base game destroying its kind of aesthetic. And I think modding support is actually in the roadmap that the developers put out, so that's quite nice. So we just order some more. I think most of the game, I think I've spent, well, a lot of the game is managing stock, and I'm okay with that because I like that kind of micromanaging how much stock levels you have, how much you actually need, because sometimes you can go over what you need. I like that aspect of the game. Other people might not. They might want a kind of more hands-off approach where you just build stuff and let it play itself. I'm going to say it's it's good though. It's keeps me engaged and it keeps me on my toes, so to speak. There we've got nice delivery, and we've got these shelves full of goods. And actually, because it's been such a problem, we're just going to order, I think, 17 more tomatoes as well. Let's see, another 5. No. I think people are complaining that food's arriving late, so I think I might add. Let's add another employee, and I'm just going to keep him here. I'm just going to keep him on everything. I just want him helping out where he's needed, basically. I think that's hopefully going to maybe alleviate some of the issues that we're having there. Yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else I really want to say about this game. I think it shows a lot of promise, and I mean I'm having a lot of fun playing it, seeing my restaurant grow, adding new dishes. I mean I've probably at this point put about 3-4 hours into this specific restaurant, and I've still got 3 dishes that I still need to add to the menu, although actually I can just add them all now. So I don't know if I've just completely overexpanded there, but we'll see how it goes. But I mean, there's this whole map to take up. I've seen a lot of restaurants on the Steam screenshots, and from watching other people play the game, I've seen people have designated gambling rooms, so you could have maybe 10 of these slot machines in one room, and that would get you 300 a month, which is quite a lot of cash. You can also, I mean, you can do anything. You could make, as a lot of restaurants have, a very long corridor to your bathrooms. At least a lot of restaurants in the UK tend to have very long walks if you want to go to the bathroom. Not enough mixers to keep up. The little thing of note, this icon here pops up a lot of the time, just telling you you've got demand, or that the queue is forming, or that staff are overworked, and it's nice to just have that remind you instead of you having to kind of see that for yourself. Just gives you a little reminder to act on these things. As we get some more chicken. I'm going to have to buy some more fridges actually, because of the chicken and the steak seem to be running out quite quickly now that I've got the other, obviously the chicken and the burger on the restaurant. I think that's probably why the mixer is getting. I think that's why we've not got enough mixers now, is because I think the burger uses the mixer. Getting some more better reviews in now. We had a couple of 2 stars there for a time, so it's nice to be getting another couple. Actually, one of the things I touched on at the start was this car noise. This car noise it's incredibly loud and it's incredibly annoying, and I really wish there was a way to turn it down. I don't know if you're going to hear it, because I'm going to turn the volume down in the video obviously so you can actually hear me speak, but the noise when the cars come past is incredibly annoying. But okay, that's enough of me talking. I'm gonna leave you now. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you've gained some insight into what this game is. It shows a lot of promise, and I mean it's £7.50, which is the equivalent of about $10, so it's not expensive. And if you like this kind of management tycoon genre, then I think you'd quite enjoy this specific game. Anyway, I'll leave it there. So thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you next time.